This is an opportunity that we just don't get very often. We're going to actually be talking to the myth, the legend herself. Of course, we're talking about AEW's Kris Statlander. Here we are at Kris T-Mobile Center, Kansas City. I know you got a big show coming up. We're excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Also, not a myth because I am standing here in the flesh. I'm real.
Well, let's talk about your character just a little bit before we get in, because I want to get into some of the backstory too. But what your character, for somebody maybe has never, because our audience, we get a lot of people that maybe aren't wrestling fans. They're just catching our show for the first time. Mm-hmm. So who is Kris Statlander?
Kris Statlander, she is more than a woman, is kind of like what I like to call myself. And by that, I mean, I'm someone who likes to, I guess, break barriers, and I like to do things that you wouldn't normally expect just your stereotypical woman to do. I'm a little bit, you can't see it now in my outfit, but I have a lot of muscles and I'm pretty strong.
I've seen
and I do a lot of flips and cool things.
I was going to say, I saw you squat an interviewer. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Hey,
it's too early in the day for squats.
Thank you. Hey, I want to just talk to you. I know that in previous interviews I've seen with you, you talked about how you're not necessarily a big wrestling fan in the past. Yeah. But as you came up, what really got you interested in wrestling in the beginning?
Shockingly, I loved the physicality of it. I know a lot of people love it for like the glitz and the glamour, which is something I kind of learned to love the more I fell in love with wrestling and the more I furthered my career. But yeah, I've just been such a fan of action and combat and stuff like that. And that's what really drew me in.
Well, when we see you in the ring again, as somebody looking in that doesn't know a lot about the business, I see that a lot of your matches are very physical. And that's one thing we've come to know and love about you is that it's not just the pretty face, although you're gorgeous, but it's a lot of physical wrestling. And we've seen you in everything from street fights to who knows what. What is that? How do you get there?
Probably mental illness.
I wonder sometimes.
Yeah, it takes a certain kind of person to want to be a wrestler because it doesn't feel good. It hurts. But then to be excited about street fights and weapons and bleeding and borderline criminal activity. Yeah. You're not always all there mentally, especially when you do it and then you're like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life.
What is it when you feel that way though? When you're going out in a street fight, maybe you get hit with a chair or something crazy. What is it that makes you want to keep going? It can't be the pain. Is it the crowd? What is it?
I think it's hearing the crowd, hearing their reaction and being like, I did that for you. I think that's kind of what keeps you going.
That's
because
awesome.
It's I'm able to endure this pain for your entertainment, and I hope you never have to deal with the pain that I put myself through for you. But yeah, it's honestly hearing that crowd reaction and being like, oh my God, these people are crazy. That's kind of what just fuels it.
When you see a lot of people, they throw on the term legend really easily, really quickly sometimes.
Yeah.
But we can see your career has just been on an uphill slant ever since we've seen you kind of take off, at least again from somebody watching from the outside. Where do you see you going from here? Is this something you want to continue for a long time? Is there a shelf life here where you're going to be done at a certain point? What's that look like?
I don't really have a specific end date in mind. I've done a lot of things that I'm very proud of and that I'm very satisfied with I've gotten to do. But I'm never fully satisfied. And I feel like there's so much more that I can do, that I can prove that I can do, that I need to prove that I can do. And I don't plan on stopping until my head falls off. So
well, as we're talking about the future, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What is your future look like? Is there something you haven't done yet that you'd like to do?
There's a lot of things I haven't done. I've never wrestled in Japan. I've never wrestled in Mexico. Actually, when we were at All In earlier this year and we were in London for All In earlier this year, that was my first time ever in life leaving North America.
Wow.
So I haven't done a whole lot of international travel, and I would love to. That's something that is very high on my list. I've only won the TBS championship. The AEW Women's World Championship is something that has always been on my mind.
We would love to see that.
Yeah.
That's something I think we would all love to see.
Yeah.
Is there, okay, we're going to wrap this up real quick, but is there an opponent that maybe you really either haven't wrestled yet or somebody you love wrestling that you'd like to wrestle against?
I mean, there's actually a lot of people that I have not wrestled. Toni Storm, I've never wrestled her in a singles match. Mariah May, Serena Deeb, Harley Cameron, I would love another shot at. Mercedes Moné, I would love another shot at. I feel like Willow and I need to have a break from each other after what we've done. Although maybe down the line there's something there again that I would love to reignite. But
we'd love to see that gold on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, again, there's people that are seeing you for the first time, which is hard to believe, but also a lot of real diehard fans. Is there anything, this is a really unique opportunity, is there anything you'd just like to say to your audience, the people that continue to watch, that continue to follow you?
Yeah, to all my fans that already watch and follow me, thank you for being the coolest people that have ever existed. And if you haven't watched me before, I'm sorry your life has been so lame up until this point, because now that you've found me, everything's going to be so much better for you.
Oh, see, I love that. Hey, this has been a real spotlight for us. I just want to thank you for taking time for us. And again, we're going to keep looking for Kris Statlander, more from AEW.